Hi, my loves. This is Isabella Sanfilippo coming at you from WCHS, and you're listening to the I Love You podcast.
And now, the long-awaited, one and only Student Athletes episode part 2.
Yay! So if you forgot, I play field hockey.
I do gymnastics.
I play tennis, basketball, and golf.
And that was Diya and Becky, aka The Cool. So I have some more questions, and we can just jump right into it if you guys are cool with that.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so first up, during sports, there's a team aspect, but there's also an individual aspect. And I kind of wanted to dive into that. So, do you guys have any comments on that?
It's just, I think I might have said this last week, I'm not sure, or whenever we did it last. It's hard to not put a lot of pressure on yourself as a student athlete. Like, for me, I put a lot of pressure on myself because I want to do well, and I care a lot about the sports I play, so I want to succeed and do well.
For me, gymnastics is like, I think I said this last time, but it's like an individual sport, so it's like you don't compete with other people, but like at the end, all your scores count. So it's like kind of like if I don't do well, it's not only like I'm like bad for me, but it's also like bad for the team, especially this year because it's like the top 3 scores count, and we only have 4 girls on my level, so I literally can't mess up, but it's okay.
I think that the different aspects are what makes sports so tough, because it's not only if you lose, it's if you also have a bad game. So there are some games where I played really well, but like something unfortunate happened and our team ended up losing. And like I still like feel upset because we lost, but not as upset because I played well. But if I play bad and we end up winning, I feel worse than if we lose and I played good.
I fully agree with that. We had a tennis match on Wednesday, I think it was, and we did lose, but I personally did not feel I played my best, and I think my partner played pretty well, so I felt terrible. Like, it was just two things that just came at me. Like, I played well, I played bad, and we lost, so it was so hard.
I agree. Yeah. And it really eats at you, because like if you like step away and your team played a really good game and you just didn't do as well as you know that you can do, and then like you're like upset, and then your parents are like, I thought you guys won, like the team won, but like personally I feel like I didn't win, like I feel like I lost.
I feel like if you look at it from like a different perspective, like if you did bad but your team won, they're not going to be blaming you. Just like if your team won and you think you played well but like other people didn't, I feel like people are too like focused on themselves. So sometimes I'm like scared that, oh my god, they're not going to like me, like because I messed up, and it's like it might bring the score down, but it's not actually like that. It's kind of just like your own thoughts.
Yeah, I feel the same way, because I focus so much on what I do that I don't even realize what other people do, but I think other people are realizing what I do. But it's the same way. They're so focused on themselves, because that's just how you are as an athlete.
So this question also kind of feeds in with the previous question. I think that a team atmosphere can affect like mentally how you play, and like mentally where you are when you're playing. So like there was just this one time last game where I just messed up and I made a mistake, and one of my teammates like literally yelled at me. I got subbed off, and then as soon as I got on the sideline, it was just not good.
That's so sad.
But I think that a team can really affect how you play and also how you feel when you play. Do any of you guys have any comments?
Yeah, I think for me, my experience for my basketball team last year was the opposite way. I had very supportive friends on that team, and throughout the season, I started out very nervous, but once I realized how supportive and kind they were, it made me feel better about my playing and just more confident. So I think it can affect both negatively and positively.
Yeah, it really depends on your team. Right now, I really like my team. Whenever we're competing, like my team cheers so much, and then even like if you're on beam and you fall, they're like, it's okay, get back up. And it's like, it's really motivating because it gives you like more energy. So, and it like brings up the mood. So whenever I'm usually stressed more before I go into competition, because then I'm like with my team, and then that kind of brings the stress down a little bit.
I think that's like kind of the beauty and also like the bad of sports, because a team can affect you so much.
Yeah.
And if you're on a team that's just unsupportive and not willing to like be there to help you when you make a mistake, it can make like such a big impact on how you feel about yourself as an athlete and also as a person.
Yeah.
Or it can be like the total opposite, and your team can jive really well. And it's not only fun because you're playing the sport, but it's also fun because you're with friends and with people that you get along with and work well with and have this common goal with. And like that's how I said, like it's like beauty of being on a team is being able to like have common interests with people.
Yeah, I feel like it, like no matter what sport you play, it's important that like your team acts like a team and not like they're competing against each other.
Yeah. It's hard when you don't know the team very well, like when you just start out. Because you don't know how they're going to react if you mess up, or even if you do well, you don't know if how they're going to react, because some people can react badly. So it definitely takes time to get into the swing of things when you're on a team, and hopefully goes in the positive direction, but you never know.
Yeah, when I was in 7th grade and I started doing like competitive gymnastics, I was so nervous when I was put on the team because I was like, oh my god, they're so good. I was like, what if I'm not like as good as them and I like bring us down? But it was okay.
Because as you grow and as you progress as an athlete, like you build the skills and also like the friendships. And I think it's also a beautiful part of teams, because it's not a team, it's a family. And if the family's just not getting along, and then you just have like the one aunt who's like, no, it's like, oh well, there goes the family drama again. Okay, so this is a question for our lovely Becky. Becky did not tell me that she was the tennis captain.
Really?
Did you know that, Diya?
I did not know that.
I think I told both of you.
No, you
but
didn't.
No, you didn't.
I think you were there when I announced it. Anyway, continue.
That's so cool, Becky.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
You're so cool. You
Thank
are the
you.
cool.
You are the cool.
Like
Aw,
you're like the
thanks, guys.
coolest of the cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I was co-captain with 2 other girls for my team, and it wasn't the biggest responsibility since it was JV, but it felt very nice to be recognized that my playing was like being appreciated, and yeah, it was really nice. It made me happy.
As a captain, how do you lead your team? Like, is there specific things you do or would advise?
I don't want to make it a bigger deal than it is, because again, like JV, it wasn't that much of a responsibility, but we did lead warm-ups, which you had to figure out what to do for warm-ups and stuff, and just have them, I don't know what else to say. Like it was really nice to get that title, but it wasn't that much added on pressure or anything.
Well, it's still really nice, Becky, and I'm
Yeah,
sure you
that's
did
so
a beautiful job. You were way too humble. Way too
I
humble.
don't know. Thanks, Izzy.
Of course. I think that also captains have such, they do have a big role, and I don't think you even realize it, but
yeah, maybe.
by you being, excited to lead warm-ups and excited to be there, whereas, if some girls are having, bad days and they're, dragging a little bit and not as, motivated as, better days, being the light for them is really important, and I'm 100% sure that you are doing a beautiful job at that.
Oh, thanks, Izzy.
Of course. Okay, so there's a lot of pressure when playing sports. So I think we talked about dealing with the time management kind of aspect and that pressure. But this week I kind of want to talk about pressure to perform well in a sport. So Does anyone want to take this?
Yeah. So for basketball, I'm not the best girl on the team. There's so many amazing players, and so I do feel like a lot of pressure. Like, I don't want to mess up, and I put that pressure on myself. They don't put it on me. I put it on myself, because it's hard when you miss a shot and stuff, and everyone else is like sinking them, and then you feel like the game was on you, even though it wasn't always. It's hard when everyone else is at a different level than you are.
The what ifs.
Yeah, the what ifs. They're the worst. They get you.
They eat you alive.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm always really nervous before I compete, because it's like very, like, all eyes on you, and it's like, it's a lot of pressure, but I don't know, I kind of just deal with it, and what's kind of harder is whenever I mess up in the middle of a routine, and then I have to keep going, and I'm like, oh my god, why did I do that?
You're so real though with the just deal with it.
Yeah,
I just deal with it. I don't know what you have to do.
I don't have any other like tricks. I literally just deal with it. I don't know.
Once I'm in the game, all the fear goes away kind of, and you just have to play.
Yeah.
Like you said, just deal with it.
Just deal with it.
That's what you gotta do.
Because you can't live your life being nervous all the time.
No, you can't.
Because then, sorry.
No, you go.
Because then you'll be hesitant. Like if you're trying to get the ball or trying to do like a harder trick, like you just gotta go for it.
Yeah, you can't like.
And if you mess up, you have to remember that everyone messes up. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I always have to remind myself that I'm not like bad at gymnastics. If I mess something up, I'm like, it's okay. It's just this time.
I think that also, I feel like this episode is more like about teams, because I feel like last week we kind of went into like mindset and like mentality and like individualness. But I feel like there can also be added pressure from a team. Like, I don't know, this year I like had to step up because one of the girls she's literally absolutely amazing, like literally best field hockey player, such a role model for me, but she got hurt this season, so I had to like fill in her shoes, and I just like felt like, oh my gosh, like I was so nervous. I wasn't prepared for it, but I went in there and I tried to deal with it as best as I could. But I could tell like the team was really counting on me to be able to at least like try to get somewhere near her level, which is going to take literally years of work. And like she is just so talented and incredibly amazing. But
I think you'll do great, Izzy.
Thank you, Tia. But it was just like I felt like all eyes on me, even though a lot of the time no one really is more individual, like you said.
Okay, this isn't really about competing, but it kind of, like at practice yesterday, our coach had us do this thing where it was like, we would show all our jumps and our acro, and every time you fall, there's a penalty for the whole group. It was like 5 V-ups for every fall or something like that. And it was like so nerve-wracking because now it's like if I fall, I'm like punishing the whole team, and it's like I could like feel the disappointment like in the air when somebody falls, and it was like really it was like a lot of pressure. It motivated me kind of to like stay on, but I also just really did not like that.
I feel that. I mean, in basketball sometimes we have to shoot a foul shot, and if we miss, then we have to do a champion, which is basically like a suicide, but it's just a different name. And like it does put a lot of pressure on you because then the whole team has to run. But I get why coaches do it, because in the game you're having so much pressure on you at the foul line. Yeah. So I get it, but it is a lot of pressure because you don't want to make everyone suffer for a shot you missed.
Yeah, it kind of worked, but
still. Yeah, that's kind of how it is in a game. So I feel like they just replicated that. That's crazy. I think you just got to deal with it. But like in my brain, I'm like screaming like I'm going to pass out. Like this is so scary. Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I think that's like more scary than a competition, because it's like, you know, if I do bad, like they could still get first. Like that has nothing to do with them. Yeah. But you know, here it's like, oh my god, if I do bad, they're gonna have to do V-ups, push-ups, or like whatever she gave us.
I think the thing we learned from today is just deal with it.
Yeah.
We should put that on a t-shirt.
Just deal with it. Forget Nike. Yeah. Just do it. No, it's just deal with it. I think that's like a perfect place to wrap up, and I think that's our advice for everyone who's listening. Just deal with it.
Just deal with it.
And do your best, because that's all that you can do. So yeah, thank you for listening. I'm your host, Isabella Sanfilippo, and remember, we love you.